And
I'm Eve. I'm kidding.
You too.
Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to Popversations. And today we are going to talk about some movies that are going to be coming out in the next year or so that we are excited to see, anticipating to see, and just kind of get our feelings out, you know? Yeah. So Candyman is a movie that we both love.
Oh, yeah.
The original. And that is, the new one is supposed to come out this fall, September 25th. It was supposed to come out in the summer, but got pushed back just due to
I think it was
everything.
supposed to come out this month, actually. I think.
Yeah.
Or this month or July. I can't remember.
Which I didn't really think made sense. I mean, it's a horror film, and that's the kind of thing I would be way more excited to see in the fall. I mean, I guess it would get a fall like DVD release date.
I don't get into the whole trying to make a summer blockbuster. It's weird. It's just weird to me. It's like they pushed The Conjuring 3 back too. I mean, I just don't understand it.
And I think that's my main worry about this movie, especially seeing the trailer, is I understand that they're trying to make it modern, and if you watch the trailer, I like the device that they're using to get him to kind of be summoned, and it's that the main character is a photographer and an artist, and he has like a mirror set up and is asking people to like say his name, and that's how he's kind of getting it out there and all that. But I think the scale of it is going to be hard to handle. I think making it like so big where there's so many people involved is going to take away from what was so great about the first movie, and that it was just about her, and like and I think that was what made it more believable that she was crazy, was she was the only one that was kind of investigating or cared.
Yeah.
And now you have like all these people getting involved, it seems like. I just don't know how to feel about that. I'm not sure.
I just don't want there to be the insinuation that there's going to be like two Candyman. I think that would be weird. It kind of insinuates that in the trailer.
It kind of seems like it...
Or he's being overtaken by it, and then it's just
like... It seems like he's passing the torch or something. You
claim that Tony Todd is in there, and, granted, they could have, like, warped the voice of, like, when he speaks to not sound like Tony Todd.
It sounds like Jordan Peele.
Yeah, it's supposed to be...
Because Jordan Peele's directing it, but it sounds like he's also doing the voice.
He's just producing it.
Oh, he's just producing it.
It's a female director, I think. Oh. But that's the thing that worries me. I don't want to, like, rain on anybody's parade, but I like to Get Out a lot. I just thought that Us was not for me. I don't want to say overrated. I think that's just like too much for me, and I won't go there, but I guess it's fine if you want to have social commentary. The first one had social commentary. I just think what worries me is
like they're gonna take something that people love and like make it into a social commentary.
I think how you go about the social commentary is very, very important, and I think staying true to the character, whether it's something new and people. I mean, some of the younger kids. I mean, they don't even know. Younger people have. There's people our age who haven't even seen this movie. So that the thing that you have to be careful of is. Who are you catering to? How much exposition is going to be in there? How are you going about the story? I mean, this is supposed to be a sequel. This is supposed to be like, what, 10, 15 years, 20 years later, and, you don't have any reference to the whole Helen thing at the end. It doesn't seem like. I just hope everything comes together. I hope it's done the right way.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to have it be a continuation, and then Virginia Madsen's in it, but she's not playing that character.
Weird.
It's weird to have it be a sequel. If it was a reboot, I would be like, okay, they're trying to have like a cameo in there. It's like a fun thing to have her play a different character in it. But
it's just Jordan Peele kind of has a thing. I mean, again, he's not directing it, but there's always got to be a twist. So I'm wondering what this twist is going to be, because it's coming.
Yeah, and I'm also weirded out by the fact that in the trailer, and they could have been doing this on purpose just to not show what he looks like in the movie, but you already kind of know what he looks like.
He's wearing a gold coat now. seems like, or a bright yellow coat. The hook looks different, and that stuff like that's fine. Stuff like that, you're not really
I
gonna
just was wondering
notice.
why he looked invisible and like why it seemed like he was invisible parts of it, and I wasn't sure if that was a choice they were making just for his power or if they were purposely trying to keep like what he looks like from people, which would be a good. I mean, that'd be a good choice because it's like how.
I have no idea.
It's like how when The Grinch came out and nobody really knew what Jim Carrey was going to look like, and they could have easily kept that a mystery and made it like this big reveal, and then I think they ended up showing it in the trailer, which was disappointing. I think they could have just kept it a secret and it would have been way cooler. And I think if that's what they're trying to do, I'm totally for that, but I wasn't sure. It just leaves a lot of like questions, which is kind of the whole point, is to get you interested in everything, but I'm kind of nervous about that one just because we love it so much.
The aesthetic of it looks great. I mean, it's
kind of this cool like neon.
Yeah, it's
interesting.
It's not a goth
aesthetic.
Well, I guess it still kind of has the gothic horror aspect to it, but that was what was so cool about the Candyman 1992 is you didn't really have gothic horror like that. I mean, even from the opening shot, you hadn't even seen anything like that before. I mean, it changed a lot of things in it. I mean, for it to be as effective as it is today, and me still be terrified to watch it, I think speaks volumes. But we can't be.
You can't be overly critical.
We can't be fanboys. We haven't seen the movie, but I mean, a 2 minute and 40-second trailer, and you basically give away an entire kill scene. And again, we've already talked about movie trailers and how we feel about that, but I just think you're giving too much away. Which leads us into Bill and Ted, where you hardly give anything away.
Yeah, they're just in that trailer. They're just like basic plot points. Like they haven't written the song yet. Like how let's go to the future and steal it from ourselves, and it's like this future where they haven't succeeded.
Well, right there, boom! In the first 20 seconds, I know the plot, and I'm interested. And that's all the trailer is supposed to do.
Because that was like a minute less. That one was only a minute 30.
What is going on, and I should have interest in what is going on. And if I have those two things, your trailer is successful. And if you can't do that, like we've talked about, like my general time frame is you can't do that in a minute and a half, then you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever seen a trailer for a movie where you see it in the theater and like, oh, that's going to be just a huge
pile of
crap. And then I don't think I've ever been proven wrong by that. Like there's some where you're like, oh, I don't know how that's going to be, like we'll see. And then, but if you look at a trailer and you're just like, ugh, like I feel like I've never been proven wrong by that ever. Yeah. So that's the unfortunate thing. But I'm really excited for Bill and Ted because I feel like that one's so hard to mess up. Well, when you have the two characters coming back, like that would be.
Who don't age, by the way. Alex Winter and Keanu Reeves.
Alex Winter still looks really good, and Keanu Reeves still looks really good. And it's just they just did such a good job of creating like these very solid characters that everybody loves. And like I said in a previous video, like this is a movie that people asked for and people wanted. And now we're finally getting it. And that's something to be excited about just by itself, is that people were listened to. And that's what we wanted. Like, I don't mind a Candyman reboot because I think that that one has definite potential to be modernized. I think that one is a good example of modernizing a horror movie. Yeah. But it's like if they wanted to do like Paranormal Activity reboot, like I wouldn't be for that because it hasn't been long enough. Like it hasn't been long enough for people to say, oh, what was that? And then get more into it.
Something that deserves a revisit as opposed to, like Friday the 13th, been there, done that.
I mean, you've been there a million times.
The whole rights thing is still going on. But anyway, like my point is it was time. It's like HBO is doing the Hellraiser show now. That's getting another opportunity. But yeah, Bill and Ted. I mean, the trailer did exactly what I wanted it to do. It did exactly what I would expect it to do, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see it in August. I really think it's going to be.
It's gonna be fun no matter what. Like it could just be this horrible. Like I mean, the originals are just
the second one is amazing. I love the first one.
I love
but the
especially
second one is
the
amazing.
very first half of just, they had so much fun being the evil versions of themselves. Like, you can tell it's just, and it is fun because you get to see, they did something different. And the podcast I was listening to, they're like, what they appreciated about that movie was they didn't do the, oh, let's go back in time again and find a bunch of bunnies. Like, they did something completely different.
Yep.
They kind of took a big risk. They made it a lot darker in parts of it. Like, when they're going to hell,
Well,
like,
now they're going
those
in
parts
the
are
future.
creepy. Yeah, now they're going in the future. So they're
all
you know,
different. They're all different.
That's how it should be done, is like you take the characters and they are strong enough on their own to where you can do something different than the first one. Because, like, Friday the 13th, like, you have a character, but it's just like, it wasn't supposed to be this deep, like, intricate, complicated character. It was never intended to be that. So when you're trying to make new things, you don't have a lot to work with.
I gotta be honest. I mean, and again, I'm just gonna speak quickly on it. I'm not really interested in seeing like a movie where I would get like a half hour of a young Jason Voorhees. I already know what happened. I already know it's horrible. I already have sympathy for him as a child and what occurred at Camp Crystal Lake. I don't need to see it.
It was just like how we don't need to see Uncle Ben die in Spider-Man.
I don't need to see Batman's parents die every time we have a Batman reference in any movie. I know Martha Wayne
but no, because
dies.
Zack Snyder did different because it's in slow motion. Did you see it in slow motion?
Thomas and Martha Wayne die. That's all I know.
I know, and it's the same every time.
Speaking of things being different and or not different, we don't know a whole lot about Mortal Kombat.
We don't know anything about it.
With that being said, I mean, I know that they're filming it in Australia. I know that post-production is on track for like January 15th, which I'm assuming by the end of January you're probably going to have a trailer. And then I'm thinking late summer, early fall, possibly even winter release, but it will come out in 2021 if things continue to go well.
Yeah, and I think the interesting thing about them being in Australia is like that's a kind of a barren landscape. So is it going to be like Outworld then? Is it just going to be like a place setting for the tournament? I don't know, but I just think it's
I'll put my money on first tournament, and we're just going to have to relive it again.
I'm fine with reliving this particular scenario again because it has, if you take out the video games, like movie-wise, it has only really been done once. Because they didn't do that at all in Annihilation. We've just seen it in the video games so much.
No, it happened in both animated movies. The bad one that came out in 1995, and then the good one that came out, Scorpion's Revenge, and it's just a first tournament, but a larger focus on Hanzo Hasashi or whatever. But
I mean, they also did it in the second season of the web series on Mortal Kombat Legacy, but that didn't end well. But at least for the first season, they didn't, and they did origin stories, which is way better because there's so many good origin stories.
Just give us the characters we like on screen. You can do something outside of the first tournament.
You know what would be so good? Is if the whole first movie, like that they're doing now, is if it was you meet every character and just you see through cutting to each character that's in it, you see them starting to like come to the tournament and then it just ends like right before the tournament or something. That would be like, because my whole thing is the best part of the games is the different characters. It's not necessarily the fighting. This
isn't Mortal Kombat Conquest.
I like that one. I like the Conquest.
Well, yeah, in the video games it's cool, but I just. But
I'm not saying there wouldn't be any fighting. I'm just saying it wouldn't be in the tournament, and then they could kind of like flesh out the stakes a little bit more.
It's not necessarily, I guess, I should rephrase. It's not so much that I wouldn't mind seeing it if it was done well. The point is, anyone who's a diehard Mortal Kombat fan, we know. We know. It's just like the Batman thing that I just mentioned.
And it's not like the newer generation doesn't know because they did it in the games. The newer games did the same stuff.
we know. Find something else. And as long as it as wacky as the games have gone at this point, damn, make the movie wacky. I don't care.
I honestly wouldn't mind if they started it like the beginning of Annihilation when they just kill, like start it when Johnny Cage dies and
just retcon
and then
Annihilation.
Well, I wouldn't, because that was like, if I had to pick a good thing about that movie, it was that they were bold enough to do that. I know part of it was because they couldn't get the same guy.
And people don't even know that. People don't know that.
Yeah,
that's
it
not
wasn't
Lyndon
him, which
Ashby.
is why I think it's kind of a bold choice, because that is kind of canon.
Well, because he read the script and he went, "No, they kill me in 5 minutes."
Well, that just tells me that they were planning on doing it the whole time. And bold move, like, you know, at least you're doing something different there.
Bold move. Kill a beloved character. Doesn't
he die though? And I thought that was like a canon thing.
I don't think so.
He never died. I thought he did die at some point in something. No, because I
could be wrong. In one of the Mortal Kombat games, like he was supposed to die. I don't know. And then his daughter ends up being the one that kills Shinnok, and I'm just like,
because she gets his special fire powers.
She gets his green.
Yeah, like the
or whatever that is. I don't know the kick thing. Whatever. I'd have to reread the Mortal Kombat.
I'm just excited because the cast looks really good.
Lin is Liu Kang. I think it's a great choice.
I think it's way cool. He played the Black Ranger in the new Power Rangers.
Everyone is kind of, more Asian based, which makes sense. It just does.
They're just not like there's an actually person of Asian descent like playing Raiden, which he is never necessarily that in the game, so it's not like they had to.
But it doesn't bug me though. It makes sense.
It makes more sense, and I'm totally fine with it. I think it's a good choice. I think they could have done that years ago. Nobody would have really made anyways.
And I think the biggest question is, depending on what you do, whether it's the first tournament or whether you decide to do something completely different, like how do you lead into the second one? And now are we going to go with are we going to introduce Shao Kahn? Is it going to be Quan Chi? Is it going to be the Dragon King? Like, you have so many different directions.
If it's just Shang Tsung, I might be a little disappointed. No, it is Shang Tsung because he's
Shang Tsung's in it.
Oh, and there wasn't any other big character that was like a villain. So
just give me a deadly alliance movie. Just don't kill Liu Kang, and then bring back Zombie Liu Kang. Because that belonged to me. Because you know what I respect? I respect material that if you are going to make a bold move and you are going to kill a character, kill the character and leave it be. Instead of doing this resurrection crap, or they're not really dead, like
I think they just wanted to do it for
Fast and the Furious.
I think they just wanted to do it to have that extra character to play for something fun.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? And it's like, yeah, it's kind of different to play as him, I guess, but you could have just made it a skin. You could have just made it something you found in the crypt thing or unlocked.
They made his normal skin a skin in Deception. But anyway, as far as the movie's concerned, I think that we don't know a whole lot about it, so we can't say that much about it. We can't really make any pre-assumptions about it.
You can tell based on if they had...
Just percentage-wise, be honest with yourself. And everyone watching, be honest with yourself. Percentage-wise, or on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is it that it's just the first tournament?
It's 95%. Because I was trying to say, there's no other,
you know what?
There's no other villains in the cast. It's just Shang Tsung. They're going to do it again.
You never know. I'll give them a little benefit of the doubt. And with that being said, I'm going to go 78, 79%.
I'm saying 95. Because it's
fine if you're doing something and yes, you're trying to get more people on board with it, but really what this is for the fans. It's for the people that have stuck with it.
And I hope they're gonna do the thing that I hope is they actually have a lot more characters involved in this and they just aren't listing them and it's trying to be surprising. That is what I hope. That's what I would want because, You know,
Like-
even if they're just in the background and they have like a good character design, even if they're in the background and you get to go, oh, that's that person. Oh, this is this person. You know, oh, there's rain. Oh, there's like smoke or whatever. Like that would be so cool, even in the background. Like I would be fine with those Easter eggs.
Plus, explore other realms. You know, like Edenia is cool. Like the Nether realm is cool.
Nether realm's super cool.
Go somewhere else. But as far as sticking in Earthrealm and Outworld all the time, I'm just kind of hoping they expand on that a little bit. Which is my opinion. But anyway, that's all I have to say about it.
Yep. Hopefully everything turns out all right, and it's all puppies and rainbows.
I have all different excitement levels for all three, so we'll just kind of wait and see.
Yeah.
So, in the next couple of months, we'll probably be talking about them after they release.
Oh, we're definitely going to have to talk about Candyman, so we'll see soon.
Yep. But anyway, that'll do it for me. I don't got anything else to say. I'm not the closer. You're the opener and the closer.
Signing off.